Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Director Watch, an AwardsWatch podcast that attempts to get inside the mind of cinema's greatest auteurs, explore what drives them, and maybe we go on a few unrelated tangents along the way. I'm Ryan McQuade, the executive editor here at AwardsWatch, and joining me, as always, is the Caped Crusader himself, my co-host, Jay Ledbetter.
I couldn't decide if I wanted to do the Batman voice to start this episode or not. And then I thought about like which line I would do, and I think most of them I thought of came from The Dark Knight. So it was kind of a weird thing.
You want to jump ahead a couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't want to embarrass myself by doing a Dark Knight line for the Batman Begins episode. But also, I didn't know if I wanted to embarrass myself by doing the voice in the first place. So what I'm saying is, this is the most boring intro we've ever had. We're talking about Batman Begins.
You want to go, swear to me. There you go. Exactly.
Rachel.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah. There you go.
Those are the two.
I mean, those are the two, or I like to do the one from The Dark Knight, and I'm sure I'll do it on that episode in a couple weeks, but where he's exhausted at the end of the third act and where he's like gotten, tackled off the cliff, and he goes, "You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain." And it's just so
It's like
good.
a combination of Batman and Rocky.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
When he gets exhausted, he starts slurring. He starts slurring hard. He does it in Dark Knight Rises too, where he's like, "Where's the trigger? I know you wouldn't give it to an ordinary."
He's had a couple whiskey sours, that old Batman, but he's still gonna fight the crime. We're here to talk about Batman Begins, the latest film in our Christopher Nolan movie series. I'm super excited to talk about this one. We're getting into the popular ones, Jay. Like the really popular.
Yeah, I mean,
ones?
this is
This is the run, right?
And this also came out at like the perfect age for me.
I think for all of us, like I think we were like, oh, a real Batman movie to see in the theaters. Like, it's I
mean, especially contextualizing this in the superhero era is really interesting to consider too, because it's earlier than I kind of remembered. I went back and just kind of looked at what superhero movies had come out. And you remember this as being like, oh, finally, they're taking superhero movies seriously. This was like the third important superhero movie that kind of came out of its era that took it semi-seriously.
Absolutely.
And then it, later, Dark Knight's a whole different deal. But it was, in hindsight, you're like, it wasn't really doing anything different. It was just kind of its own thing that started something different.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jay, we're not alone, though, in this endeavor
we've got
clean up
a Robin.
Yeah, well, we needed to clean up the streets of Gotham. And who else better than the co-host over at the Project Big Scream podcast. He is a critic over at Barstool. He's the one and only Mr. Bob Goochman. The Gooch. Welcome to Director Watch.
Everybody, if you need critical analysis, you go to Gooch at Barstool Sports. That's where you get the hard-hitting insights.
That's where you get that's where you get the best critic analysis.
It's mostly where I go for my politics, really.
Yeah, I mean, we will be talking about George W. Bush today. I'll tell you that much. We will be talking about George W. Bush.
That is true. This is
you gotta
the first post 9/11 superhero movie in a lot of ways.
Really,
except for when they had to erase the Twin Towers out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, it really it sticks out. Like going back to these, they stick out way more. Like superhero movies, there's like a before Bush, after Bush quality to them.
Do you guys remember just after 9/11 when they just tried to make every movie about 9/11 and every political thriller?
I feel like
had
there was
least
a little bit of a lag. It was like 5 years later.
No, they were so the first leg up was the United 93s and the World Trade Centers. And then it was rendition, Lions for Lambs, The Kingdom, the Manchurian.
But it wasn't even that. It was War of the Worlds.
Yeah, it was War of the Worlds.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It was,
Man of Steel's
all kinds of
a
stuff.
decade later, almost from all that. But yeah, it's
Zack Snyder loves his 9/11 imagery.
Well, he loves 9/11 and he loves Jesus. I don't know if you know that. He's a big Jesus guy. But hands up to the sky. That's what.
And he loves Alan Moore.
That is true. But Gooch, we brought you here to talk about Batman Begins. We got a lot to talk about with this thing. This is a big behemoth of a thing to talk about. This is the first, really, truly, I think, across the board popular Nolan film. But before we can do that, I got to ask you about Christopher Nolan himself. As a film lover, you got to have some sort of relationship with Christopher Nolan. Everybody's got a different one, whether they think he's the best director in the world or maybe the most overrated director in the world. There are people out there that believe that. For yourself, what is your relationship with Nolan? Where does he rank for you? What are the things you love about him? What are the things maybe that limit him for being maybe an all-time director?
I mean, I'm a Nolan bro. I worship
you.
at the church of Nolan and really always have. Like, this is definitely the first time I think I would have even been aware of him. I definitely was aware of him. I was 11 when this movie came out. And then I would have been 13, 14 by the time Dark Knight.
You were just watching, following every night.
That's when I really am like, oh, this guy, he makes movies. This is the reason why these movies are good. And Prestige had been out, and I like that too. And then just kept following him. And he really just kind of never missed for me. And the only period I can think of is like when I get out of college and I start watching a lot more movies. You know, once you hit these phases in your life where you really start to kind of dive in and just expand your own filmography. I got worried for a while because, there was a lot of criticism thrown at him for a long time. And I was like, is he not the guy that I think he is? And I really just like, finally after Oppenheimer, I was just like, no, this is the guy. This is the guy. He is everything I always thought he was since I was a kid. He is, if Raimi was my Lucas as a kid with Spider-Man, he was my Spielberg. Like this, he is, I think he's the king of Hollywood right now. And I feel very happy that we are in his hands. I'll put it that way.
It's just so nice to like know that he's taking care of everything. He's like the director of the DGA now, or like president of the DGA there. He
cares so much too.
So much.
He does. He loves movies so much.
It's just like I was listening to I told Jay this I think last year, and Paul Thomas Anderson was on his run for One Battle last year. And he said this story one time about during the whole press tour and winning awards and stuff about Martin Scorsese and how when a new studio head buys the conglomerate or whatever, he goes and has a meeting with that person to discuss film preservation. And that it's got to feel devastating because there's all these billionaires that just are buying this thing and really don't know how to take care of it and treat it like shit. And, Scorsese's like, but that's the job. That's what you got to do to keep this alive. You got to fight for what you love. And when I think of the other person that's been helping modern, cinema in terms of helping it out, besides Spielberg and Scorsese and PTA with like the Turner Classic Movie stuff, is Nolan. I mean, the IMAX camera stuff alone is in trying to get us all to see 70 millimeter screens of things, even though
being the head of the DGA sounds like such a pain that he absolutely does not have to do, but he does it anyway.
He's like the biggest director since probably like Frank Capra to ever been.
Yeah.
Because Capra was like kind of like the same boat as him. He was winning Oscars and he was the head of the DGA for a couple times.
No offense to him, love him, but the president of SAG is Sean Astin. Like,
hey, you leave Samwise Gamgee alone.
Look, I love him, but he's
don't start.
He's not Christopher Nolan,
Well, no, but he's Rudy, and that's
no. I mean, let's keep him Samwise. Rudy, one of the most overrated films of all time.
I agree with you. Well, we don't. I don't know what Gooch's stance on it, but I don't support Notre Dame propaganda at any stretch.
Do not care for that movie.
No,
do not care for it one bit.
No, it's just like who wants to go to Notre Dame? It's just
I mean, have you seen South Bend?
It's not
hard
great.
pass.
Hard pass. Not going there. Much rather go. I mean, Gooch, do you have a college football team?
Kentucky, I guess, but
Kentucky. Okay,
we don't really have a.
Jay's an Auburn guy.
That's a football guy.
Team. Well, it used to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then I'm a Longhorns fan. So.
See, another football team.
Like the football team. Like one of the football teams.
Oh, they're back. They're back.
No, don't. No, God, that's one of the worst things you can say out there. I hate the whole Texas is back thing. It's like, no, they just need to go and show it and prove it. They don't need to do all that. This actually was like a perfect time during this Batman Begins era for my team. But anyway, that's beside the point.
That's why you remember this movie so fondly, is because Texas A&M or not Texas A&M.
No.
Texas.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
That was the ultimate slip. What are you doing?
That I am not a Texas fan. Texas was thriving.
Yeah. Was this is '05, right?
Early Mac Brown,
Like '05.
early-ish Mac
Yeah,
Brown.
exactly. Well,
Yeah.
well, no, Mac Brown had been there all like through
Well,
the
I know, but
'90s. But
this was before it went south. Let's put it that way.
yeah, because it went south in '08. Like our listeners are so enthralled with this conversation
Yeah.
right now.
Gooch, you like Batman? You like the character of Batman?
Dude, I
Yeah, where were
fucking
you
love
at with
Batman.
the character of Batman? Like, did you? I remember seeing Batman and Robin in theaters. My dad took me to that.
I did not.
Well, Jay, you didn't see many
I didn't
movies.
see anything. Yeah.
I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think I was a little young for that, but I certainly had the toys. I had a lot of those
I
toys.
had the toys.
Man, they
I
had
the
them with all the
Batmobile.
like the Happy
Yeah.
Meals and everything. Yeah, and the cups. You remember the
Mhm.
cups? Like those were big. I mean, they marketed the shit out of that movie. And I remember watching Batman Forever a lot on VHS. Like
Mhm.
that was it. But like when this came out, there was a little bit of like there was skepticism. There was like people were trying to figure out like what because it was a different tonal shift. Like Batman was not the I mean it was a popular property, but it was not the property that it is now.
I
Um
mean,
and there's this
I
guy
was.
that most people don't outside of the sphere don't know who he is, directing it. And
It's crazy if you go back and you look at that summer for Batman Begins, and Batman Begins was a big. I mean, not a big hit, but it was a hit for them.
I mean,
Wedding Crashers made more money. Like this,
Yeah.
like
this movie made 375 on a 150 budget. I mean, nobody's gonna get mad about that.
A 150 budget in 2005, by the way, is like
Insane.
unfathomable. That is
Insane.
massive.
for a
Yeah.
guy who'd made like 2 movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it opening weekend it only made $49 million.
And he had to pitch himself to direct this movie.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, at the time, I mean,
And he didn't really care about the character Batman.
no,
That's the
like
craziest part.
because the thing about this is this movie is it may be a Batman movie, but it's also heavily a Bruce Wayne movie, which is not what we've really
For the
had
first time ever.
exactly because like those Keaton movies and Kilmer and Clooney, those aren't necessarily the most in-depth look at Bruce Wayne. They are a lot more about Batman and really about the villains. I think a lot of those
A lot
films
about
are.
the villains. That is
Especially like the Burton films. I mean, you don't have Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito, and Michelle Pfeiffer in there for nothing. And then when they
Batman
get to
is
Schumacher, it's
absolutely the
ridiculous.
third character I think about when I think about Batman Returns.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody thinks about Jim Carrey, before they think about Val Kilmer.
But this is probably the only Nolan movie that's about Batman from a character perspective. Maybe Dark Knight Rises. Certainly not Dark Knight.
Certainly, well, yeah. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know if I fully agree with that, but that's a conversation for another time.
Not
Jay.
too bad because I'm right.
That's fair. Gooch, Batman Begins. I know that you've seen this film. I bet you've seen this film like you've seen this movie like a dozen times, a couple dozen times.
Probably way more than that. Like this
Probably
is
way
like, this
How many times did
trilogy,
you see it that summer? Do you think?
If I had to guess, probably 2 or 3 times. I mean,
I
this
think
is
I think I saw it 3 times.
yeah.
the summer.
I can remember the exact cinema. I can remember the seats, those old like rocker seats with the mesh that kind of felt like really new age at that point. Like
Yeah.
you're like, man, these are really padded, like really padded. And now you look back and you like wouldn't step into a theater pretty much. Like if an AMC had
No.
that, you'd be like, well, there's just rats and cockroaches all over
Yeah,
this
well,
thing.
this is just this
Interesting.
is
This place is about to fall in on itself.
Yeah, but back then I was like, oh my God, Dad, can we please? And the thing was, my dad wanted to go. That was like the treat. My dad wanted to go see these Batman movies, starting with this one. After he'd seen it once, he was like, oh no, this is awesome. Like, and that was a great feeling as a kid after having to sit through a lot of bad movies with them.
this is how I knew that it was a good movie. My mom wanted to see it. My mom
Oh,
could not give a shit about Batman and was like tired of just like me watching those Batman movies and the cartoon and all that stuff. And when she read a review, I think she read Ebert's review or something like that, and she was like, all right, I'm hooked. It sounds interesting. And then we walked out of it, and I had already seen it, and I walked out of it, and she went like, that was incredible. I was like, all right, we got her. We got her, folks.
Ebert did give this a 4 out of 4.
Yes, he did.
whoa.
Yes, he
Great
did.
Good job, Raj.
Raj just coming in there with 4s. He didn't care. he just gave a 4 whenever. Like I know we all say now on Letterboxd and stuff. Gooch, I don't know what your thought process is about giving a 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd these days.
I'm very liberal,
but you got, I'm a little bit more conservative, I guess, when it comes to him. But I know when I know, you know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm more liberal on a 5 out of 5 for something older than I am something newer, if that makes sense. Like I need time for new stuff, unless it's like, spoiler alert for all of our listeners out there. When I saw Oppenheimer, I was like, well, this is done. We can just 5 this and move, and we can keep going on with life. But your thoughts on Batman Begins, like when you were a kid, what was your thought when you saw this thing? And does that still hold up now?
Yeah. So like, I mean, like I said, I was just enamored originally by the Spider-Man movies, which began to come out when I was 7, 8 years old. And they were perfect for 7, 8-year-old me. Like they were bright, colorful, and hopeful and optimistic. And I had rewatched them a million times. And even to like the X-Men, the Singer X-Men movies had a little bit of that to them as well. Where they were a little poppy, a little bright, a little colorful, big entrances, the classic comic book stuff that I think like Marvel still kind of does today. And then this movie comes along with, Nolan directing, and it's just so different. It's just so grounded, and I'd never seen anything like that, or even really thought that could be a possibility. And the way that it all felt plausible in a way that it never had before. Bruce Wayne could be a person, and even crazier, Batman in this movie feels like he could be a real thing in our, like, I don't know if this happened in your all cities or your all states, but I can remember being in Cincinnati. There were people who tried to be like they would go out in the streets thinking they could be Batman. Like there was that like going on at the time because it just felt so realistic, and that still holds up today. Like his like going all in, we'll talk about it more, but like going all in on the practical as much as possible. Like I think that made such a big difference, and that's why like those are the movies that hold up. Like the CGI will age, but like these practical effects, these big explosions, like all this stuff, the real suit, like it feels like stuff you can grab, just looks great still.
Jay, I know that you've been reading up on Nolan, and you said he wasn't really interested in the Batman character. This is where the Bruce Wayne of it all really comes into it. But he wasn't the first choice to reboot the Batman series.
Well, it was a whole process. I mean, this is 8 years. I mean, imagine now 8 years going by before they reboot one of the biggest superheroes.
I don't know. Ask Matt
ever.
Reeves at this point. It's like, shit.
Well, no, but then James Gunn was like, we can't wait that long. We got to do another one in between.
That's true.
And, every Spider-Man, I know it's like contractual with Spider-Man, but a Spider-Man movie fails 2.5 years later, you're getting the next movie. But,
and a new actor and everything.
Yeah. But this was, I mean, Batman and Robin was embarrassing. People found that to be just like complete hack work from Joel Schumacher. They still sort of had plans to maybe make another one. And there's also been that rumor forever that there's actually a cut of Batman and Robin that's dark and good and whatever. I find that a little hard to believe, but
the projected sequel for that Batman and Robin movie, if you guys have ever read up on it, is some really wild shit. They were going to bring back Nicholson as like Joker.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Pfeiffer too, right?
They were going to bring them back, and it was all going to center around Harley Quinn,
who was Madonna.
I think
right?
So. Yeah,
like
it was.
Madonna,
it was some weird shit. Like,
and she was going to be, if I remember correctly, she wasn't going to be the girlfriend of Joker. She was going to be
the
Joker's daughter.
Yes.
Yes, that is.
They were going to get really liberal with the text there. And it, honestly, the more I read on it, I was kind of like,
Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was invented like 3 years before Batman and Robin had come out. I don't think people realize that Harley Quinn is not this classical canonical Batman character.
Actually,
Harley
she was
Quinn
created
for the cartoon.
Well, she was created before Batman even existed. What are you talking about? No, I'm just kidding. No, you're absolutely right. She was from the television series and sprung from there. But that would have just been a wild interpretation.
I mean, he's an ideas guy.
Yeah, he
Ideas
really
guy.
is. I mean, like, I'll say it. I'll be the person to say it. I still like Batman and Robin for nostalgic
Oh,
purposes.
it's horrible.
Like it's a great drinking game. I'll tell you that. Anytime Arnie makes a pun, you're gonna be hammered by the end of that bad boy. It's stupid fun. Like you gotta
I
have
guess
some.
not having seen that in the theater when I was a kid,
There it
I have
is. Gooch is pulling up the DVD.
no
There,
attachment to Batman and Robin.
it's so good. It's so good. You gotta you don't find a trash movie like that to be
Gooch will have
entertaining.
to come back for our Joel Schumacher series.
So I have a whole crap shelf, and it's just just the crap. It's just like that movie. I had to shift past Catwoman to get to it.
Oh well,
No,
that was in
wow.
this
There
this
you go.
era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
post
Just a little
Oscar
bit
for
after
Halle
this.
Berry there. Jeez,
But
Louise.
you know the one that like the big one that
Yeah, I know the
almost
big
was
one in it.
inches away from being made.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Your guy, your boy,
Mm.
Darren Aronofsky,
Yeah, yeah.
almost
they-
made a Batman Year One origin film.
I don't. I'm going to tell you this, guys. That would have sucked. I'm just that would have hurt. Like that would have set it back. I think. But yeah,
Dark.
Maybe it would have been good. I don't know.
when I think of like story, I don't think Darren Aronofsky. Like
That's
I don't
fair.
know, and like I just
This would have
don't
been
think-
right up. It's interesting that Warner Brothers was just like, get the hot new young guy who hasn't really proven themselves outside
Well,
of.
they did offer. This was true when we talked to Wachowskis years ago. They did
Oh.
offer the Wachowskis. Would
They
you
did.
do the Matrix sequels or would you do Batman? And they chose the Matrix sequels, obviously making the right choice. Because those movies rule. But
Depends on who you talk to.
I mean,
But yeah, I love
mean,
the Matrix sequels.
I love the Matrix.
I love-
Gooch? Matrix
Oh, yeah.
sequels.
One. I love Reloaded. I don't love.
I love them all. There's never been a bad Matrix sequel. Never been a bad Matrix movie. In my
And I
opinion.
love
In my
Resurrections.
opinion.
Not a
Resurrections
bad
I
one.
love.
There's never been a bad one.
I think there's.
Yeah,
been
they're
a
all
bad one,
great.
But
I love them all.
I don't like.
Sorry,
Resurrections.
I'm like, if this is my controversial take time, I'm just like, they're all great. I've watched them way too many times, and that dialogue convoluted, and I don't give a shit. Like, just keep serving it up, like causality, all that shit. Like, just cause and effect. Let's go.
But they had no interest. They wanted to make the
No,
Matrix.
they wanted to make those movies. And
Do you know what Nolan was writing at this time?
Interstellar?
Would it have been Inception?
Something that everyone wants to write at some point. A Howard Hughes movie.
Oh, the Howard
Everybody
Hughes,
at some
that's
point
right.
wants to make a Howard.
That's
Hughes
right.
movie.
He was one of the other people circling
That was like
the Aviator.
getting made.
Yeah.
And then Aviator happened. His Howard Hughes movie was going to star, drumroll please, Jim Carrey. That would have been weird.
That would have been I mean,
No.
dramatic Carey was good, but he's no Leo.
Yeah.
No.
No, that wouldn't have worked.
Well, it was because wasn't the Aviator supposed to be Michael Mann? And
Well, Michael Mann,
Or he was, like, circling it a little bit too
he
much.
Produced Aviator.
produced
Michael
it.
Mann had always. Everybody has their Howard Hughes phase, where they're like, "This is the human being I care about most in the world."
yeah,
And then they, Scorsese got to do his, and then Beatty got to do his.
and I feel like he kind of put all that shit in a drawer, and then he got to do a lot of those ideas with Oppenheimer. Probably.
I'm not even sure that he put it in a drawer. There's a lot of Howard Hughes in Christopher Nolan's Bruce Wayne.
No, there are. There's a lot in I think in Oppenheimer too.
He got to repurpose it, reshape it
Yeah.
into Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne.
But anyway, Jay, when did you finally get to see this thing?
I saw this in theaters. I
Okay.
was 13. I was 14
To
when
be
this movie
fair,
came
Gooch,
out,
he
which
didn't
meant
see a lot
I
of movies
could
in
see PG-13 movies.
Yeah, his
Right,
parents
I had-
were.
Oh,
I had full autonomy at this point.
Yeah, he
Oh,
had to
yeah.
wait for R-rated movies.
I was my
in his
own
house.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
PG-13,
How
I think
blown
I
away
got to
were
start
you when
seeing
they
when I
said
was
that one
12.
F-bomb?
I was changed forever.
He actually still covered up his ears, which was crazy at the time.
I still can't hear it without shivering. But this is really a movie that I watch now, and it transports me back to being a teenager. Even more so than the later Batman films. This was just kind of a revolutionary movie. I mean, we had X-Men that took X-Men much more seriously. Even as a teenager, I was still like, this is different. This is like a better made, more compelling, interesting movie in filmic ways that I can't really even articulate yet, but it just feels different. Even from the opening Hans Zimmer score over the credits of the movie, it's just like this is different. I didn't realize that it could be this like intense. It is a very intense movie. What I like about it though is that despite it's tonally very intense, very serious, very dark. From a story perspective, it's very comic booky, often very silly, which I think is like a really fun balance. You can mess that up very, very easily, but there are a lot of story elements in the film and kind of character traits that are a little goofy and feel like they would be in something like the Batman cartoon, for instance. And I think Christopher Nolan's willingness to lean into that with the first film really benefits it. And it has this it even down to the James Newton Howard Hans Zimmer split score thing. It's like he is walking a tightrope that no superhero movie had really done up to that point. And it, like, not to be hyperbolic, it changed my life. It legitimately did. Like things were different. There was before Batman Begins and after Batman Begins for me personally. Not that it stands the test of time in that way from a history of cinema perspective, but for 14-year-old Jay, it was like, whoa, things are different now. I think about movies differently because of my experience watching this. It is not a masterpiece, in my opinion, in hindsight. Christopher Nolan fully did not have a handle on close quarters combat in this movie. I think it is pretty pedestrian. I mean, I genuinely think a lot of the action in this film is pretty subpar. When it works incredibly well, but you can tell that he's still kind of feeling it out. But the sensation of watching this movie, especially in the character scenes, is pretty fantastic, and that was very new for a movie like this. It's an important movie for me, and I loved going back to that time in my life watching it this time.
I think you're absolutely right, Jay. Like, maybe Gooch can speak on this. I know I can. When we did Peter Jackson last year, and there was something about when seeing Lord of the Rings in theaters and having sort of momentous moments in your life when you remember, like the year Fellowship came out was the same year Sorcerer's Stone came out. And I remember the newspapers, you know, saying what's going to be the movie of the fall, and not pitting them against each other, but just being like previewing these two monumental events that were going to shape our generation for 3 years to then a decade of films. And after Lord of the Rings went away, kind of wondered what the hell would be the next thing. And then this drops in June of 2005. I was on a family vacation to the beach, and I specifically told my dad, I don't give a shit what we do on that vacation. We're still going to see Batman Begins. And this was before you could buy tickets in advance.
You sound like a pretty cool kid.
If you, I mean, I told him that word for word. But like you could buy tickets in advance, but you had to like go to the theater to get them, you know, and they had to post them there. So we were out of the city. We were in a totally different place, and we had to wait there for an hour because all the screens were sold out. Obviously, it was opening weekend, and I got in there.
Golden age.
I was like in the fifth row because again there weren't assigned seats. Again, another great thing about back then. It's like no assigned seats.
No. I'm
Yeah.
very pro assigned seats.
Yeah.
I want that on the record.
No, I'm
Especially
telling
now
you,
that there's 30 minutes of trailers.
we don't appreciate the fact of the world we used to live in. Kids don't get it anymore. They don't get the rejection of your movie at Blockbuster not being there. They don't get the rejection of having the seat that you wanted there, that you went there and had to get there an hour early to get. Like they don't understand.
You had to watch the Maria Menounos thing 3 times before the trailer started.
At least she had a job.
Yeah, like opening up the newspaper.
Oh
check
man,
the show times.
Come on.
I mean, come on. Having we had a section called The Weekender, and it had all the theaters in town, and it had all the times and everything. And you're like, oh, I don't want to go there, you know. And it had Ebert's thumb up, thumb down, and a local person, and it was great. It was great.
Thank you for calling Movie Phone.
Yes, they're not going to understand any of this. So, saw this movie. My mind was like the end of Speed Racer, to do another Wachowski thing. It's like just all the colors in your head are just like, what is this? I didn't know a Batman movie.
This movie is quite brown.
Yeah, but in my head, I was like, I couldn't compute how awesome this movie was, and I saw it a couple more times, and it was that experience of like, oh, okay, you're right, Jay. This movie's very silly, and it's very comic booky in terms of the plot, and yet up to this point, don't think we had seen a Batman origin like this at all. We hadn't seen a comic book movie kind of, for the most part, ground itself and take itself a bit serious. Those characters, the X-Men and even Spider-Man, still live in a fantastical sort of Marvel world. They don't.
Spider-Man is very silly.
Legitimately Chicago. You know, that's like he's
that's it. It's the locations, man.
It's the locations. It's the opening 20 minutes where he's in the mountains and he's walking around and you see, and and he's going to Ra's al Ghul's, hideout, and
that's the nunnery from Black Narcissus.
Exactly. It's great. And it felt real. And that $150 million, you kind of feel it as you're watching it. But I put this thing on, put on the 4K, watch this, and Jay's right, Gooch is right. You get kind of transported back to when you're like, what is this, 2005? So I would have been 13. And you're just like 13 years old, and you're just like, yeah, sure, this isn't probably my favorite Batman movie, but fuck, this thing just moves. And it's just it's built within the characters of Bruce Wayne and Alfred, and that's really the glue of this whole thing. And and also shout out for him not just going straight for the conventional villains, which was awesome too at the time. It was like Scarecrow scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, and still very effective. I still think to this day. The score is awesome. Movie looks incredible. It's edited at such a fantastic pace. It felt like a legitimate adult film set within a comic book world, and that still rocks to this day. And so, to Gooch's point, like, then it's like, who is this guy? Because this is, I think, for most of us, like, unless you saw Memento growing up, this is your introduction to him, and it still rocks. I bumped it up a half star. I don't think, Jay, you're right. I don't think it's a masterpiece, but for what it's trying to purposefully do, which is to entertain the shit out of you and to try to get this franchise or this property back on solid ground, it is actually, for an origin story, pretty goddamn good, and becomes the template for what every film wants to try to be, which is start off on the right.
This for 15 years and basically never did it
for every franchise, not even the good ones.
Down, make it gritty.
Yeah, just make it dark and try to realize it. I mean, like,
or at least that's what they thought. That's what they thought was like. They were like, that's what all Batman Begins did. Like, they just made it darker. And
I just remember
especially when Dark Knight came out, it was like,
Dark Knight was like the lesson nobody learned, which is just like people just they just learned that let's make movies dark. Like, I remember literally the Star Trek sequel was called Into Darkness Like it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like the the fun nature of that first film was the reason why we all went to the theaters, and they just kind of went on the other pace. Like man, like the whole
What if a
Snyderverse
Star
is
Trek
built off
movie
of.
kind of made you feel bad? Interesting. Not sure if that's what I was really looking for, but
What if they just took the twist of that movie and clearly we all knew what it was, but they lied to you for 6 months, and then the movie came out and you're like, oh, it was what we thought it was, So uninteresting.
I mean,
Anyway,
if there is a precursor to this movie, it's probably Blade.
yeah, well, and that's the Goyer connection, right?
Yeah,
Or the Del Toro film as well too, right?
Blade 2,
Blade 2, yeah, those blades,
which is a superior film. Yeah.
absolutely. Gooch, Blade 2, Blade 1.
I gotta go Blade 1.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
the nightclub.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean that the blood
The blood
rave
sprinklers.
scene
Yeah.
is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I just think that Del Toro's just,
It's good creature effects in Blade
yeah,
too.
yeah. This is, I mean, they're both really good films.
That was
And then
when Guillermo was like a real freak.
you think he's gone kind of cold now?
He's gone soft.
He's
He's
a
a
little
softie
cuddly.
now.
Yeah.
Move on.
He's all, I just want to make Pinocchios and Frankensteins.
Just want to keep making Frankenstein.
What if
over and over again.
Frankenstein was a sweetie? That's what Guillermo del Toro asked.
And the movie was almost 3 hours long, even though it was only 2.5 hours long. We just
What
felt
if
it.
I am the monster? You no, wait, no. You are the monster.
I'm the monster. We're all
Hey,
the
Oscar
monster.
Isaac, can you be a little bigger? You gotta. You're really underplaying this.
What, you didn't think
That
his
I assume,
accent?
that I assume was the direction of every scene of Frankenstein.
God, his accent was so. I would have liked that movie if maybe
Perfect.
Oscar Isaac just wasn't in that movie. Honestly, like I
Mm.
think he's a problem. It's the
Oscar
accent.
Isaac. We could do an hour on Oscar Isaac's career arc because I still don't understand it. I thought he was going to be one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now he's just what, a character actor.
Now he's doing Beef season
Yeah.
2.
I heard he's
Oh.
good on it. I gotta watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? You just keep. There's too much television, so you just
Welcome
forget about everything
To the
nowadays.
streaming era.
But yeah, Batman Begins, good movie. Gotta just put that out there.
It's a great movie. I mean, the cast, what a roster. I mean, come on. What can you even say about it? You know who is phenomenal in this movie?
Katie Holmes.
No, she's actually god awful. Tom Wilkinson is so good in this movie.
When is Tom
he's
Wilkinson bad
he's
in anything?
I bet you there are that man loves a paycheck.
That's true, but I think
What
in
did you
this
what did
era,
you think
he's,
of his performance in Little Boy,
uh,
the 2015 war film?
I thought give him best actor of the year.
Yeah,
What are we talking
he's
about?
unbelievable in this. He is.
No, I haven't seen that movie.
He is taking this material like deathly seriously while also still having like he's going so big and serious that it kind of flips back around and becomes pretty funny.
Yeah,
When he meets Bruce Wayne in the restaurant, it's so good. And Christian Bale is channeling the American Psycho thing a lot. I think about some of the line deliveries. Does it come in black? That's like him talking about the business cards in American Psycho. He was the perfect choice for this. And apparently they gave it to him because of the Batman voice as much as anything, which is so funny because that became kind of the
running
punching
joke.
bag of
Yeah.
the Dark Knight trilogy. I think it works really well.
So do I. I think that's a generational thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's really easy to imitate, which makes it kind of easy to make fun of.
who was the like the people that started making fun of that? People that were older than us that.
Yeah, I think
They
it
were
was
really
just people who
attached to
probably
Keaton?
used to a different voice, and then
Yeah.
that one is just so different, and I think that just probably bothered them.
It's probably just like, honestly, like when he's got the guy upside down, like the corrupt cop, and he's like, "Swear to me." It's like, yeah, he would probably want to
Swear
do
to
that and
me.
not want to sound like Bruce Wayne, who's like,
Right. It's all about practicality. That's what this movie focuses on as much as anything. It is a very stylish film, but it takes the practicality to a level that no superhero movie had really done before. From the I mean, when you see the tumbler, what are you thinking of? You're just thinking about the war in the Middle East. To me, that's what I think of. It's very
Defense contracts,
it
all the things
evokes,
with the
yeah,
military. Yeah.
he's the Wayne Corporation has become a military contractor first and foremost. It is very funny that Lucius Fox is like, hey, I've got this suit that would be perfect for you being a symbol of a bat already. I've got it built, it's already black. Can you make it a little more like darker? Can we spray paint it even more? um but it is interesting that they're a military contractor. That's it is, especially in hindsight. I'm not even, well, I was very young. I certainly didn't notice it when it came out in 2005, but now it is like, this is just what giant conglomerates are now, are things pretending that they're not military contractors that are making most of their money with military contracts. And that is powerful, watching it now.
I know that everyone talks about the other two films in the Nolan franchise here to be overtly political. And I do agree with you, Jay, that I did pick this up. I mean, this is more of the fact that like it's just about the generational the generational toll that a city and the corruption of power can have, and how little of hope that there's found. I mean, like through, even though, yeah, I don't think Katie Holmes is particularly great in this role, but through Rachel, you see a lot of just the fact that this is like a person trying to do the best she can within just the most corrupt city, the most corrupt power. Even her boss is assassinated at one point just for looking up a shipment of carts because he thought it was safe enough. You got literally Ra's al Ghul and the whole League of Shadows are this idea of just like over time and over power, we have to topple things in order for it to regrow. Like we are essentially a human bomb that will explode a civilization just like over time.
We
And
burn London to the ground.
yeah, we sacked Rome, and so then it's very funny or very interesting of that, like his Batman figure is this one man billionaire with defense contracts, um, trying to solve the problem of institutional corruption, and yet there's something incredibly ironic about that given the time period. But then there's also just like, God, it's fucking cool, isn't it? Like there's a little bit like this, like it goes back and forth
It is
between
quite
like,
cool.
that's very interesting, but also like that car smashed the other car pretty easily on the top of that rooftop. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. So it this is weirdly, it gets to have his cake and eat it too, and sort of build it up because of the fact that like things are so dour in Gotham City that the only logical, plausible thing left to save it would be this man running on rooftops, trying to save it one punch at a time. And like his introduction to it is he's literally stopping the biggest criminal in Gotham City from a drug raid. It's I mean, it's
That is true.
when you really break it down, it's like, God, he's stopping fentanyl from like getting out there into the world. It's
It's pretty boots on the ground, like small scale for most of it.
well, and then like you think about the what's like the device that weaponizes the water system. That is like
That's
something,
the comic booky, like,
but that's also feels like something our
silliness.
fucking
It's
military
fun.
makes
That's
that
what I
we
was about
don't
to
know
say.
about, and that they're using out there. And we're like, hey, what's that? You know, how do we
Putting
spend more?
chemicals in the water.
Exactly. How do we spend more than the next 17 or 14 countries in the world on military? Oh, it's because we got this shit that nobody knows about that's just sitting around, and a billionaire can go like, yeah, I'd like to go spelunking
Oh,
with
man,
this,
we're
which
going
is a
full
great line.
conspiracy theory
You
on
know,
Batman Begins.
It's really no, it's like if you
What
break
was
it
he
all down,
exposing?
it's
What did Christopher Nolan know?
yeah, or I'm bought by the onion. Is this the part where I take my shirt off? But no, yeah, I found it really, as you started breaking it all down, I'm like, wow, it's actually not started. It starts here all the political themes more than it starts in the other one. I always thought this was the fun one, and then but then you get older and you're like, wow, we really.
I'm not sure it's that overt. It's just a lot of symbolism that really reminds me of
But then it lands
the Iraq War,
it
really.
lands harder in the later films, I think, because it's set up here. Like all the fun, it's like that's all underneath all
It,
the great character stuff that we never got to see before, like the actual relationship with Bruce Wayne and Alfred, which I think is the heart of this film. You know,
yeah. I mean, it definitely Trojan horses. Like it uses a lot of the aesthetics. Oh yeah, Odyssey.
I was just
It,
going,
it,
whoa, there it is.
yeah, no, it like Trojan horses its way into like audiences that would not, I mean, want to listen to. I mean, this movie has a lot of like rich people should be paying for poor people's services. Like that. I mean, the Thomas Wayne character is like in a Roosevelt Jr. type, like, or Rockefeller Jr. type, like figure of like, I inherited all this wealth. I'm giving it back to the city. I'm going to save this city with my wealth that I probably didn't earn. And like, maybe like, I don't need it all. Like, he's a doctor. I don't think he made all that money from being a doctor. I'm sure this is like generational wealth. It's very implied, at least. And I think that's really interesting. Like, I really do. And the way that that plays against the Bruce Wayne versus Batman is, I think, fleshed out really in an interesting way here. Yeah, no, like Nolan is very smart with this stuff, and he's like done it throughout his career of like being able to get to audiences and then land his punch. Like it's pretty smart.
And if there's something that I feel like Nolan latched onto with Batman that maybe nobody else did up to this point, it is how the relationship between Batman and Bruce Wayne. So far, as we've talked through the Nolan series, Nolan's filmography up to this point, the thing that I keep latching onto is Nolan's obsession. Obviously, we know about his obsession with time, but what I've been noticing is his obsession with identity and how you present yourself. You have this guy who can't remember anything from this morning, who is trying to show to other people that he remembers everything. And he is manipulating his own reality to present himself as somebody who hasn't gotten the revenge that he may or may not have gotten in the past, and that isn't a complete psychopath and is in fact a victim of this violent act. You have Insomnia, where you have this man who is trying to present himself as someone who did not commit the inciting incident of the movie Insomnia. In Following, it's about this guy who basically wants to pretend to be another person. And in Batman, Bruce Wayne has to completely contort his sense of self to present himself as the figure of justice in Gotham City, not just because he is very famous and would be noticed if he was doing this thing in his own skin, but also because he wants to repurpose his insecurity, his trauma in a world where not every movie was about trauma. This actually felt new and fresh. And him repurposing the thing that scared him most to become a symbol for good is very potent and was extremely potent at the time and would be another thing that people copied forever and ever. And this is a film where there isn't the timey-wimey nonsense to the degree that we see with many other Nolan films. But that attention to identity and the manipulation of identity is at the forefront of Christopher Nolan's Batman movie.
Well, it's all at the front of how Bruce got back and how he got all set up
And then
to
he has to
where he is
pretend to
now.
be this playboy billionaire. It's like it's
Yeah,
all about pretending to be somebody that he's not.
exactly. And he's actually having to like grapple with it in ways that I don't think the other films really ever did before. And I do
No.
think that all that comes from seeing actually, every one of those, whether it's the Schumacher films or the Burton films, they don't overtly, at least fully, go into the traumatic event of him losing his parents, which is something that we see like a no, and it's been made fun of and everything. But at this time, in seeing it in '05, this felt fresh. This felt as if like this young kid seeing this happen, and how that one of the best scenes in the film for me is when he's looking out the window at the day of the funeral. He's waving at Rachel, and it's young Bruce with Alfred, and he blames himself for it because if he says if I was strong enough, I would have been able to stay in that opera where he has those flashes of the bats, and then this wouldn't have happened, and he just misses him terribly, and he says that to Alfred, and Alfred basically says I miss them too, in his own way, and they're the only two that you have left, and this is the first time Nolan that we've seen on the big screen really tackles the fact that these two human beings need each other, and that these two people have gone through this. Like Alfred's entire life has been serving the Waynes and taking care of this child. And even still, as he's taking care of that house and taking care of the Waynes, like when Bruce falls in the well, it's his father's the one to tend to his wounds, to heal him, because that's what a father would do. From the rest of the film on, it's Alfred doing that and reminding him.
He repeats the lines, "Why do we fall?" Christopher Nolan loves that,
and he loves just coming back with that stuff,
repeating mantras like that.
But
why do we fall, sir?
But also you still haven't given up on me, and Michael Caine's delivery of never, and it just works so perfectly.
Michael Caine in this movie has like 3 catches for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like that's just what he does in this movie.
He's incredible in this movie because he makes you buy into Bruce's journey. It's through Alfred's humor, but it's through also his innate love for Bruce, and he's fully accepting the fact that, like, if this is how you want to make a difference. Because the young man didn't want to make a difference. He wanted to blame the world. He wanted to literally kill his parents' murderer, and think that that's justice. And when he comes back in the world, it's later seen in Dark Knight Rises, the sort of effects of all this over time. But in this moment, it's one of, I think, of by the end of the film of understanding that this is how he's going to be able to build on the legacy of like you said, Gooch's parents, who are these philanthropists, who are these people that are trying to fix it and do their own form of being a hero to a city that desperately needs a figure, and is gunned down, I guess, through the League of Shadows is what they kind of stated. Like, I guess it's he just like it felt like so weird. It felt like a terrorist group taking credit, even though they might not have had anything to deal with it. Like, it was just like, yeah, oh, and that guy that killed your parents, yeah, we did that too. Like, he was like one of our guys from way off when. But I think that by that scene when it's his birthday party, and it's like it's not just your legacy that you're ruining. You have to think about your family's legacy. You have to think about that this whole thing was built on practicality and doing the right thing for humans. And then by the end of the film, when he is like, maybe we do an expansion in the southeast wing, it's him acknowledging that I think that through this whole journey that Alfred is finally seen that Bruce has grown up and he's not scared anymore. To your point, Jay, about that he's using the symbol of the bats that scared the shit out of him, that caused essentially the flashes that caused the death of his parents to be the thing that intimidates his enemies. And it
becomes less about revenge and more about protection.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of the journey.
Yeah. Which is then, and then he gets to do all this cool shit because he's not even like the number one, like there's, but also I will say when he goes to Gordon's office and he's doing like his jumping through building stuff at first, not necessarily the best at it. Always got to remember that. And that's what's great about this too. It's like, it's the same thing about the Raimi stuff. It's like when we see Spider-Man jumping off the buildings there, and it's like, oh, it's like effortless. Like the guy figured it out. Like, he got the instruction manual day one. Like there were some hiccups in this road to get there. This wasn't like an overnight thing either, which is, you kind of get to see that, or like the fact that they're buying the different parts for the cowl and the graphite, and so they have to rebuy a whole giant shipment of shit that it's wasteful of stuff as well too. But then you see him just build everything and spray paint everything, I guess, which I guess that
Yeah.
spray paint just works. I don't know. And
His
build
suit is so
photos.
black. Like he looks like a shadow.
I mean, like he looks like a Dark Knight.
Some may say.
All right.
I do appreciate Nolan apparently did fight like tooth and nail to make sure that they did not have to use the gold logo, like the gold bat symbol.
Oh, like with the
Mhm.
with like the yellow on there.
Yeah, I think this might have been one of the first times it didn't have like the gray or the black around it, or like
Whoa.
gray suit, black symbol. It was just black
Do
suit.
you think he
Like
wanted the
blacked
nipples?
I mean,
He made
that's just
jokes about he like it press before this movie. He was like,
no
my
nips.
Batman doesn't have nipples. He
To be fair,
specifically called that out.
I feel like Clooney for like the last 20 years has been making fun of the bat nipples himself too.
He
like
has
that's
been.
but
Yeah.
but it was
You might not like him, but you remember him. You remember those
I do
nipples.
think also I was watching this with my wife and she was telling me, she was like, can we just like say that Gary Oldman's one of the greatest actors to ever live? Because she was watching him in this movie. She just goes like, his accent is just flawless. Like, it's just like, and she's like, I don't know what it is, but like, she said the moment he walks in and he puts that code on young Bruce, it's just like, wow. If he was only in this for 5 seconds, you got Gary Oldman to do like the subtle thing. And but then he's just great. I mean, there's a little bit too much
Gary
of the
Oldman has
Nolan.
one catch for 99 yards and one touchdown. And he's barely in this movie.
But he
he's
also
perfect.
he
He's
also
like the
so
right
good.
amount of he's like just the right amount of suspicious and like wanting to believe in this guy. Like
yeah,
it's perfect.
because he's, I mean, that scene where his partner is taking money from him, he's like, I'm no rat. You know what I mean? It's like, when are you
This
going
is a
to
movie
take a little bit
full
of the
of, like,
taste? You know what I mean?
Full of just good people in it. There are the Waynes in this movie are so nice. They're
Rachel,
just like,
it's a good person. Gordon, Fox, these are good
yeah.
people. Inside corporations or inside entities that are inherently corrupt or
Like,
inherently difficult.
I guess
What
those
happens
are
to Gotham when
they-
the good people do nothing? I mean,
yeah.
that's like her
That's
one
exactly
big.
right.
That's her moment, and that's a good line.
And this is
There's a
Bruce
lot of good
learning
lines
to
in
do
this movie.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good lines in this movie.
There's a lot of, yeah, it's a really well done script. Like this stuff, but
It does have the Nolan repetition that is a little.
I mean, I
Well,
think
yeah,
the word
but
fear
that's-
is said in this movie probably 150 times.
true. I mean, like there is the, I mean, but that's not just a Nolan thing. That's also like a Sorkin thing. That's just like a screenwriter sort of thing, where like of a certain era of, I guess, in the 90s or whatnot. Like Sorkin recycles dialogue all the time too. But what do you guys think of the opening sequences though, of like in Ra's al Ghul's lair and him in the training that he does with Liam Neeson, which I always think that stuff is one great. And the circle back then, like, tell you the truth, 2005, Ryan did not know about Ra's al Ghul, so the twist kind of got me at that point. I didn't know shit about that, and I was like, oh snap, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Now I just think the stuff with Bale and Neeson is just great. I just think that they have great chemistry together. To me, like, though, I don't know what you guys think about that stuff.
No, I think Neeson is so fucking good in this movie, like straight up like out acting Bale for stretches, especially in that early portion, which might just be to the effect of like Bale being like kind of,
Naive
new
and young, yeah.
Yeah. But I thought Neeson was fantastic. My girlfriend did have one complaint as we rewatched this the other day. She hated Neeson's like just suits and like the way this man is dressed. Like it's very 2006, like slim fit, like this like weird cut on him. But outside of that, I mean,
Or like
I
when
was
he
with
shows
you.
up to the party.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, one of the funniest lines in this movie, and it makes me laugh every time, is when like the white, like rich lady, it's like, Bruce, I have to introduce you. Now your name is Raz Al Ghul. Every time I'm like, how many takes did you get her to say that, Nolan? Like exactly like that. Like it's so ridiculous. But yeah, when he just shows up, he looks like a cartoon character. Like
The Southern Congresswoman.
yeah, exactly.
Wife
That's in Gotham.
coming up.
Yeah, the councilwoman or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy.
The twist is great. I mean, I think they even up in like the promo, I think they were marketing Watanabe as Ra's al Ghul,
which is crazy that you got at this time Academy Award nominee Kim Watanabe just literally in 2 scenes. Like that's the type of
No words.
stacked roster, that we have here.
It's just so crazy because Nolan wasn't a guy yet, and he just this cast is crazy.
No, but Warner Brothers put all the money into this.
I know.
Like they just let it loose. I mean, my God, Morgan Freeman's the and in this, like, and he's playing literally. I mean, like Lucius Fox, great character. Honestly, never and first time we've ever seen him on screen. But he's like truly one of the most disposable like characters you could probably have if you're not putting it in the hands of one of the great actors we have. And just like they're doing a lot of exposition with him, but he delivers it so well that you're just like,
he's
this is the smartest guy in the world.
Greatest deliverer of exposition in movie history. I mean, that's what he does, man.
I gotta say, the guy that I like totally underrated in this movie and really liked on this watch was Rucker Hauer. Like it's just like that's like the Nolan thing that he's done now too, where he's just like getting these guys,
80s,
like him and
stars.
Modine and all these guys that he's been doing the last like couple films. It's like Hauer's so good in here, and there's
Eric
just like
Roberts.
He's in the next one in the next Batman film for sure. But like, would Bowie count? I guess Bowie counts, and that's
I would say Bowie counts.
But
his guys from childhood,
and he's so good in this. I mean, like, did you not get the memo? Like it's like so well delivered.
He's got a great face, man.
He really does. He would be the asshole, by the way, that goes to literally the funeral of those people and be like, we'll keep the empire for you. We'll keep the lights on while you're growing the fuck up, and we'll waste your money in turning it into literal hell for everyone else in the world. Like it just sounds like they haven't done anything other than it sounded like David Zaslav. That's what it kind of sounded like. Like, we're just going to take this once great thing and we're going to try to sell it and make it public. And thank God Bruce was smart enough to buy all the shares at the end. And now he has to rebuild the house too, which kind of sucks. Like, after this, we like, even in Dark Knight Rises, we never get to fully like experience the lair. I think like the Wayne Manor there. I don't know.
It's just kind of a cave.
Yeah. It's just kind of
Nolan rejects some of the like really, really comic booky stuff.
Yes.
Like the super techno bat cave, things like that.
Yeah. Or the BAMs and the bam. No, I'm just kidding.
That would have been good.
That would have been good. Can you imagine if he had a moment like that? When would it have been? Probably when he smashed. What would have been a good like Alan West moment, Jay, to add into the action of
First of all, Adam West.
Adam West. Yeah.
Put some respect on his name. You said Alan?
Oh, I'm sorry. Adam West. No, I said Adam West, I thought.
You said Alan.
Did I say Alan? I apologize. I meant Adam West.
I think it would have been good when Bane says they'll expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
Well, no, I'm talking for this film.
No, I think it only would have worked in Dark Knight
okay.
Rises.
All right.
I think you need to lead up to that.
Oh, okay. Gooch?
I think it takes 3 movies to get there.
Fuck.
I kind of think when the tumbler smashes the car.
You know what would have been good is when Rachel slaps him in the face.
Oh,
that would have been good.
Yeah. She does the double slap.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we think about Rachel?
It's bad.
It's bad.
I don't
think Maggie Gyllenhaal is much better though. So that it might just be.
I think it's just a bad character.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great character.
Do you think it's just like
the character is just so stand-in cardboard cutout. Like here's a childhood friend and love interest wrapped into one kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
it's probably doing too much. But then it's also just another showcase for the corruption inside of Gotham. I think the character's better written in this film than I think she is in Dark Knight. Because like in Dark Knight, it's just basically like you're just woman to pit between 2 men at this point. Make a choice.
Yeah.
But in this, at least
she's a MacGuffin in the second movie.
And in this, at least there's the stuff with Crane, and there's the stuff at her office and her childhood with Bruce and everything. But she's, she does without a badge get to walk across that bridge and just say, I am a Gotham City District Attorney and I'm going into that hellhole right over there. So just let me go right straight through. And no credentials, no nothing, by the way, just the power of like, you want to kill yourself, lady? You go right on ahead, you know? But she does get to set up that the great line once again, Jay. She gets to set up a line that Nolan pays off later when he reveals himself to her, which is also like outside of Spider. Well, I guess like it's Spider-Man 2 or the first Spider-Man film. He kind of reveals it. He fully reveals it in Spider-Man 2. This one just being like a straight up like he's just telling her who Batman is, and then my wife caught it this time where she's just like, so I want you to like act like what she's saying by the end when she rejects him and what she's doing throughout the entire film, which I find very, very funny, is that the entire film, she's basically telling Bruce to grow up and find a purpose and become who you're supposed to be. And then when he does that, she's like, that's great. And I'm okay with you being Batman, but I can't be with you because what you've gotten together now is the most dangerous thing in the city. And so it's a little bit of like talking out of both sides of her mouth. It's like, well, he did find a purpose and he is changing things, but I can't be with you. Kiss goodbye. And you burnt your house down for no reason now. And you, oh, by the way, thank you for saving my life, and everything and getting the first.
And I don't think I want to be in the next movie either.
Yeah. Why do we ever know why he just straight up replaced her?
Tom Cruise.
Was it Cruise in the couch?
It's the stuff. Yeah.
Is it the couch?
It's the weird Scientology stuff. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
then you get the Maggie G. Come on, Bruce.
I mean, acclaimed director Maggie Gyllenhaal coming off of
course,
The Bride.
The Bride.
Yeah.
Exclamation point.
We love
The
it.
Bride. Like
Sam,
that. That's how you're supposed to say it. Sorry. I still haven't seen it.
You could probably keep it that way.
It's pretty bad.
Jay watched it at home. He rented it.
I did. Yeah, I rented it.
That wasn't even a father, because his father-in-law, Gooch, buys like movies on
every action
bad movie,
junky movie, but
and he watches them for free.
The Bride, not in his wheelhouse.
That was your purchase.
I rented The Bride myself. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, after this, she takes
Katie Holmes.
Time. She just does less stuff.
Well, yeah,
and I don't think that is a coincidence.
You don't think that like Hollywood kind of just went, you know what? After The Couch, because this is the same year as War of the Worlds.
I'm going the other way.
What do you mean?
I think there was an expectation for her not to work as much.
Oh, because why? Because she was going to have his children? Or
I'm gonna let you decide that one.
I kind of want you to fill. I want to kind of want you to fill in the blank here. This is okay.
I just feel like there was probably an expectation that she was supposed to be the keeper of the home.
Oh, okay.
And not work as much.
She was supposed to be Katie stay-at-homes.
Maybe there was mutual interest there where she was like, "Oh, this gives me the opportunity." Because the great Lord Xenu has granted me the ability to not have to work quite as much. And she embraced that. And, she did that for a while.
Yeah. It's true.
She's not a particularly fantastic actress.
Well, no, she's not. She's not the actress, the big actress to come from from Dawson's Creek. That would be Michelle Williams. So
yeah, and she's also kind of set up here. Like we just ran through that supporting cast. Like she's acting against
that is true.
Nonstop, just heavy hitters. Just people who can just chew up a scene.
Within scenes she's either in pivotal scenes with a Academy Award winner in Christian Bale, two-time Academy Award winner in Michael Caine. Oh, and then she's doing scenes opposite Cillian Murphy, soon to be in the future Oscar winner.
Really good in this.
Trained,
which we wonderful really about him.
He's fantastic in this movie.
He's delivering lines like he's only, I think, got 10 minutes of screen time, but like every chance he has, he just knocks it out of the park.
Well, he had auditioned. I mean, this is the whole thing during the Oppenheimer stuff, is that we found out that he had auditioned like every other actor in Hollywood at this point, to be Batman. And there was something that Nolan saw in him and really liked for Crane. And he is just gangly and creepy. And there is this.
I don't think he would have worked as Batman.
No, I think he would have
He
been.
was close. He's a little too like,
He's too soft.
yeah.
He would have been great in like the Matt Reeves version of Batman, but not in this version of Batman. Like the sort of emo-y, more moody version of that. I don't think that there's still the thing about Bale and why he's so good is that like in his moments as Batman, he is mean and he is brutal, and then when he is Bruce Wayne, he gets to be funny and he gets to be light, and then there he at times, and then there's also he gets to have like that, like you're saying, Jay, American Sniper. I mean, not American Sniper, American Psycho sort of like look to him as well. But then there's I don't know, there's just something about like the smile, like when they're at the dinner and he's like, I'm buying this hotel and I've
It's
got
Bond.
new rule. Yeah, it totally
I also
is.
can't imagine Cillian Murphy being jacked. I don't think he's capable.
I mean, like, what's the most jacked he's ever been? Probably like a couple of the seasons of Peaky Blinders, maybe. He's never looked
They're
particularly
always wearing
big.
suits. Who knows?
He's also
Yeah.
pretty small. Like,
Yeah.
he's a small
he's
guy.
short. He's a short guy.
Yeah.
I just
He's
looked it up. 5'7".
Is he 5'7"? What's Bale's?
Mm-hmm.
Bale's got to be what, 5'10"? 6 foot?
You know what? I'm gonna look it up
He's
for
looking
you.
this up now.
I guess
I'm
5'11".
gonna look it up.
Split the
5'11".
difference.
All right.
6 feet tall,
Oh, there
okay.
it is. All right.
which probably means he's like 5'9",
Yeah.
but he's listed as 6 feet.
Wait, if Cruz is 5'5", or like what is Cruz like listed as 5'6"?
I think he's listed as 5'7" or 5'8".
So then, no, well, then he's 5'5", 5'4".
He's Kevin Hart size.
So then, like, what happens if you're like a basketball player? Then you size them up, right? Some players you size up. Isn't that like the thing?
Oh, on like rosters?
Yeah, because like people say Victor Wembanyama's 7'4", but everyone's like he's actually like 7'5", 7'6".
I actually think the NBA guys, like, yeah, they might shorten themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes they do. Like Durant is really insecure about people
He's-
thinking he's really, really tall, so he
says 6'11", but he's
scales
like 7
himself
foot.
down like 2 inches. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 7'1". Like
The
Giannis.
funniest thing about
too.
the new ABS system in baseball where the computerized ball strikes.
Oh man, people are pissed probably about that because it actually has to tell their actual like height.
Right. So they had to do like digital measurements of every person. And so now there are some guys who were overselling their height by like 3 inches in the programs who now have been called out by it because they
Just
have to do it
imagine
for the ABS system.
People losing their 6 foot status because they've been lying to people for years.
Be brutal.
Well, that's the same thing they do with quarterbacks.
Imagine being on the dating apps with that. Never get a match again.
Well, I think they'll be okay. Maybe. I don't know.
Just because they're rich.
Well, when you're like a quarterback and you're like 5'10", 5'11", you're like the worst commodity ever. But if you're 6 foot, you're all right. You'll do.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Drew Brees of it all.
Or if you're a Batman, you got to be 6
Or if
feet.
you're a Batman, yeah. Is that
I feel like
that's a
Keaton's
requirement?
short. There's no way Keaton's tall, right?
Well, like what is the bat? Well, Gooch may have opened up the door here to something. Is the Batman requirements almost are like the same requirements you need to be Bond in a lot of ways? More so with this.
No,
like,
I
you
mean,
can
I don't think so because look at the Batman.
can't have a
that we
short
had.
Batman and a short Bond.
Keaton's 5'9".
Okay.
So
I don't
Theory
think
disproven.
so as a requirement, but like if I was to measure up the best Bruce Waynes, like Bruce Wayne specifically, this is the best version of it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
do think that like this is like the correct way to handle the character. Maybe not correct, but this is the way I've gravitated towards the most. Is this like playboy James Bond type, which they haven't always done. Like sometimes he's just like a rich guy who likes to hang out at his crib, and sometimes he's just, kind of rich playboy.
But he also
he's
just
like, he is a
Michael Keaton is a
billionaire.
psychopath.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a psychopath. Kilmer's troubled, whatever the fuck Clooney was doing. Affleck is just angry, and then I don't even know what to describe him
Pattinson
in.
is
Just
Nirvana Batman.
yeah, he's Kurt Cobain at that point. Well, that
System of
movie's
a Down Batman.
that movie is so much about Batman and not much about Bruce Wayne, really.
Yeah, I hope we get more Bruce whenever
Yeah.
that movie comes out.
But honestly,
That's what
so-
every Batman. No movie has interrogated Bruce Wayne the way that Batman Begins has.
yeah. Or
In my
I mean, yeah, I mean, to your point, Jade, interrogate Bruce Wayne throughout the entire series more. No, I mean, Nolan's more fascinated with this character and this person than he is at times the persona. And then he's also just
But this is the peak of that,
inherently
because we don't
interested
meet
with the
Batman.
environment too.
We don't meet Batman until minute like 50 of this movie or something.
Yeah, and what a
It takes
sequence.
almost an hour.
What a sequence. I mean, like, yeah, besides maybe the one scene, Jay, that I think when like Wilkinson sees him and it's a lot of like quick edits and maybe not the best hand to hand, but like in the shadows, kind of like grabbing guys, like the one where he grabs them out of the one container and then the guy going, "Where are you?" "Here," and just,
Yeah, the action's pretty good when it's in the dark. Yeah.
and then the reveal of him as Batman, and then him just like lifting Falcone up in the air. But then there's also like, here's the thing. This movie has good humor to it at times. The nice coat and stuff like that. Like, it's sprinkled in there where it's not like Marvel, where it's so
The voice does
overt
make
and
everything a little funnier.
It does, but there is like, Alfred is funny in this movie.
Very.
Like the banter between him and like when he's in the cave and he's like, "Alfred, come up here." And he's like, "Oh, I can see it back for good from back here." "That's all right. Thank you, sir." Like that's what these fucking
Michael
movies
Caine's so
didn't
good.
understand
God.
either. It's like, it doesn't have to be like, I'm about to say a joke inside these things or wink at the audience. It's just natural within the relationship between the characters.
It never
And-
undercuts the action,
No, it doesn't.
which is what is the problem with so much of the Marvel stuff.
I mean, like the guy where he's like, he's in a tank and he's on the roof. Like, it's just him saying things, but it's the way that these guys deliver it that are just, it's natural within the film. I like Gordon.
Michael, you can borrow the Rolls Royce. That's such a
And just leaning back in the seat, it's so good. Or like when when like Oldman's trying to shoot the train tracks and he can't get it, and it's like there's something innately funny about him failing there. And then like the little like giddiness that he has when he gets it right. Like there's little stuff in this that is very good, but these movies are very much a lesson that most studios didn't learn from. Like, they didn't learn how to have a confidence enough in their storytellers as well as also in audiences to go along with.
But the thing is also,
with
Christopher Nolan's a better director than those guys. Like,
Well, yeah,
you
no.
can say you're going to make your nitty gritty Terminator movie, but you gave Terminator Salvation to McG. It was destined to fail. Like,
Hey. One of our great auteurs. What are you talking about? We're doing his series next. But
you even got the Batman to be in your Terminator movie, but you picked McG.
it was the lighting guy's fault.
it was. Oh my God. I remember seeing that movie in theaters. That was
I
one
saw
of
that
truly
midnight screening when you actually had to go at midnight.
when you had to go at midnight. Yeah. Again, another
Thursday.
things kids don't know, because now they get their movies at like 3 o'clock on a Thursday. And oh man, I remember you having to like go to midnight screenings to be not spoiled on stuff. And that was it. Yeah. And that could either work.
That's
That
when you
could work
knew-
out or that could not work out. In that
I was
case,
gonna say I don't really miss that.
yeah. Well,
No, that's how you knew the ball knowers. That's how you knew the real enthusiasts.
you would have been there. Gooch, you would have been there. Don't lie. You would have been there.
Wow.
If that was the system back then, you would have been there.
Yeah.
Dark Knight
I've
at midnight, you would have been there.
done worse. So
What is it? The Avengers? Everybody was there at midnight. I remember that.
I did the Harry Potter movies at midnight.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I did.
That'll do it.
My senior year of high school, I was just like,
I'm going to
I
movies
mean,
at midnight.
what do you expect me to do? Show up to first period? No, I'm going to Terminator Salvation tonight. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah. I got sleep because I saw them. And then you were talking to everybody about it being like the best movie ever. But anyway, anything else you guys want to mention about Batman Begins? Anything you haven't said yet? Anything we haven't touched yet?
I would just like to add, because I was talking about rewatching this, and I'm assuming since you guys said 4K, you guys own 4K copies too.
Absolutely.
We talked about Nolan at the beginning. He cares when we were talking about it, he just cares about everything. Like these are the best. Like you watch these and you're like, this, everything is just so meticulously handled. Like it's just such a nice experience. I got a lot of 4Ks behind me. no one does it better than him. Like he is his own criterion label on himself. Like the IMAX sequences, the bonus features, everything. Like it's just perfect. And I'll tell you right now, if you're listening to this, you don't own it. Like these are cheap. His movies are frequently cheap to own on physical media.
Yeah.
Like he makes like this is the kind of stuff like this. I'm so happy we're in his hands because like he understands this is the stuff that matters just as much as everything else. Like making sure when you want to go home and you want to revisit this movie 20 years later, you don't need to wait for a re-release in theaters to get a really great experience at home. Like it's I love him. I love him.
He is as enthusiastic and passionate as he is about the in-theater experience, about shooting things on film. It is very cool that he still is like, I really care about how these movies look at home too. Because you have the Quentin Tarantinos of the world who are like, um, it's hardly even a movie if you watch it at home, where he is a complete non-participant in the 4K restorations of his movies and things like that. And there's something maybe kind of admirable about that too, where but there is also something where you're just like, get off your high horse, man.
Well,
Where
there's
Nolan is at once the greatest ally and proponent of the filmic experience and also a man of the people. He's just like, yeah, you can have the best 4K experience. I contend Tenet is maybe the most impressive 4K that I have in my collection. I think that movie at home is absolutely unbelievable from a just like sensory experience. And I love that about him. And yeah, I bought this trilogy on 4K for the first time for this. It was like $30. It wasn't expensive. It was like totally reasonable. So I second that. I'll say Nolan dead wife, Ra's al Ghul. That's kind of his motivation for this.
There it is.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have
it. And again, that score is really special. You have the Zimmer stuff during the action sequences that is so propulsive and really felt unique at the time. He has since done that score approximately 467 times since this. But at the time, it was revolutionary. And he's done stuff as well that feels very refreshing and new as well. But he's a guy who scores like 15 movies a year, which means he has like his assistants doing it, but they put his name on it to give it some legitimacy. But love Hans Zimmer. But then the James Newton Howard stuff for the more emotional scenes, I think, is really understated and great. He, at this point, was known mostly, I guess, for the M. Night Shyamalan stuff. And I think that really works well in this movie. And it's great.
His stuff's criminally underrated within the M. Night world. His stuff for The Village. Oh, it's incredible stuff. Unbreakable too. I've got a shout out. I'm king of logistics sometimes. So Jay, when you were talking about that this movie has a very comic book feel to it, I was thinking about the water supply and how they fixed it in the end. One, what if you're like a visitor
it's
at a town?
It's a microwave emitter, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So like how do you fix the water supply if everybody's affected then? Like do you put the anecdote in the water supply? And what if you were out of town for the weekend? You know, or what if you were visiting Gotham and then you went back home? Like, are you screwed if you don't get the antidote? Like, how does that work?
I like to think
Batman deliver the vaccine to you at the house? Like, what is
there's an unseen sequel that we don't get between this and The Dark Knight. Aaron Brockovich too. She comes in, she lets the authorities know about the water problems. They fix it. Then the Joker shows up. Oh, also, when the Joker card showed up at the end of the movie, I mean, I levitated into the ceiling. I mean, remember that when that happened?
I was going to bring this up. This was going to be one of my final points was that might be the greatest non-in credit end of scene film to set up the next thing that has happened in the modern era. I mean, like, because, and also, not only does he set it up, spoiler alert for 2 weeks from now, he fucking delivers. Like, that's the thing. It's like when you watch this, back then you're like, God, I hope he fucking delivers well on that Joker shit.
Back then you're like, it's awesome. And now you're like, this is hack.
because everybody's done it. They're winking at the
Charlize
like,
Theron showing up at the end of Doctor Strange 2
Doctor
or
Strange
whatever.
2. Yeah, exactly. Now, but like back then, this was before Iron Man. We didn't have in credit sequences in every fucking film, and this wasn't an end credit sequence. This is the last scene of the film. It totally would have been an end credit scene, probably. In modern
Also,
context, if
we
it was
hadn't
made today.
had a Joker in almost 20 years.
20 years. And well, I mean, on the big screen, I guess you can count like Mark Hamill and his fantastic performance on the television show. But like, that's the crazy thing. It's like you called your shot already, knowing I mean, maybe you didn't know what he was doing, but you knew in a sense that this was going to be the direction you go with. It's a ballsy move for the end of your film to say like, oh, and by the way, like, I'll look into that, meaning we'll be back next time. And then for your next film to literally start with a shot of that character after this one, it's pretty great.
But an even ballsier move is having Sandman be the main villain and Ra's al Ghul be the main villains of the first, like your
Scarecrow, you mean,
of
not
the
Sandman.
Batman, or not Sandman, Scarecrow. And
I was like, Adam Sandler was the villain of this movie.
I was going to Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah, that too.
As but choosing those as your villains,
I'm gonna get you, Batman.
I didn't know who Scarecrow was.
Yeah,
no,
that's what's so great. It's like it's deep in the bag, and yet, I mean, it gets more familiar. I mean, in the next,
but
film.
I think that's actually kind of
a benefit
thing to do. You're not setting up this expectation. You're not setting up this comparison against Jack Nicholson's Joker in the first movie. It's like, this is my own thing. This is completely different from any Batman thing you've seen before. And it might feel entirely new, but that's what's part of what's so great about it, is it feels different than every other Batman movie that has come out before it.
Got to tell you, just the stuff with the main line at the end of the film, it was giving me very Tony Scott energy. I was just I was big time into like, oh, this has got the editing and the cutting back and forth and the overlapping dialogue on top of the real action. I was like, because I know Nolan loves the Scott brothers. He's a big fan of those guys, particularly Ridley, but like this felt like, weirdly, when I was watching the sequence, I was like, man, this is like really early, like mid 2000s Tony Scott shit going on right here. Not as, I mean, obviously wildly, crazily shot as a Tony Scott was, saturated as Scott movie was back then. But nonetheless, I thought it was great.
It's definitely got some shakiness to it. I mean,
it's got some
shakiness
stuff,
to feel a little Black Hawk Downy, at least, where it is, again, kind of evocation of kind of that boots on the ground war energy.
I still like to know how much in the Gotham budget it took to get that bat light from where it was at the docks all the way up to the top of the GCPD. It's always something that's truly I've always thought about.
Well, nothing compares to the fire bat on the side of the bridge that comes later.
It comes later, yeah, for sure.
The logistics involved with that are absolutely unbelievable.
It's really great stuff. I just think this movie is great, and weirdly emotional for a Batman movie, which I don't think that they really had been at this point. Again, I think Michael Caine is just an absolute MVP.
Yeah, he's
the incredible, sauce. And I don't think I've given enough credit to Bale, but I do think he's fantastic here, and I think there's that stuff when when you're talking about when he sees Wilkinson, but then he goes on the run, and you see a Bruce Wayne strip himself of title and trying to try to figure himself out and become one with inside the criminals. I think the great stuff about like them having to put him in the hole to protect the other inmates, because he's using them as practice, is very fun. I think the sequences with Ra's al Ghul is great. I think also the makeup design or is it special effects, whatever they did when he puts the spray on Murphy and he looks like like devil black.
Terrified me as a kid.
It's terrifying.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's really good shit. Like, and
the Scarecrow stuff is genuinely kind of upsetting.
All the bats in flying and like him calling them and using them as sort of backup fucking great. Loved it, and just the propulsion of the score.
It's so bat forward.
It very.
A lot
Oh,
of
you
bats.
think so?
Bats in the opera. There's a lot of bats.
There's a lot of bats. Well, it is Batman. I don't know if you know
I
that,
know,
Jay.
but there aren't that many literal bats in the other movies.
That is true. It's just an incredibly rewatchable film, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And to Gooch's point, these movies look and sound incredible on 4K. That's the real thing. It's like the sound, the score, they hold up so well. And yeah, back to your point, Jay, about like Tenet, I attest that the reason why like no one probably won all those Oscars, it helped when he had to be a part of when they were doing critics groups.
And they sent out the 4K.
And they sent out the Oppenheimer 4K to everybody.
I'm like 3 Oppenheimer 4K.
I'm like, this guy knew what he was doing. He's like, if you're gonna watch my movie at home, you're not gonna watch it on some DVD screener. You're gonna watch it on the 4K. And like, he went to a screening in LA and he talked about the process of making the 4K itself for that film. So he's meticulous with this shit. To your point, Gooch, it's like I watched these all the time when I was a kid, and they look better than any regular DVD or Blu-ray that I had. And now the 4K upgrades are just even better. So the guy understands physical media better than most people, even so much more than like someone like James Cameron, who just doesn't really give it. Talk about a guy that's like,
what he understands is what audiences want.
Yeah, they don't want
like this.
They want what they saw in the theater
ability.
at home. Like they want that same experience, but they still, for the new experience, you got to go to the theater. Jay,
he just loves people loving his movies.
You know what?
That's what I love about Christopher Nolan. He's just like, I want people to enjoy the experience of watching a movie. And I love that. He's the man.
He's the man.
He's awesome. I used to be such a hater.
Jay.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, we're going to test your award season knowledge based on the film we just reviewed, Batman Begins. In this segment, we like to call It's an Honor to Get Nominated. Now, since Gooch is a first-time guest here, Gooch, Jay likes to proclaim himself to be the biggest Oscar aficionado here on the website. Untrue. So we like to test his Oscar knowledge here to see, was Batman Begins nominated for any Academy Awards? And if so, what was it nominated for?
This is a tough one.
Gooch, if you know, you can help. If you don't know, you can help him. If you do know, I guess you can help him.
God, this is hard. I mean, obviously nothing above the line. So it goes down to the technical stuff. Did it get costumes?
Did it get stooms? That's what we call it here.
That was the only thing I was
stooms.
thinking. Maybe costumes, maybe score? No.
Incorrect on both.
Did it get... I don't know what else it could have possibly gotten. I'm going to say it didn't get anything.
That would be incorrect.
Oh.
It was nominated.
Production design?
Nope. It was nominated for everyone's favorite Best Cinematography for Wally Pfister.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yes.
What else was nominated in Best Cinematography, Ryan?
Well, that's great that you asked that, buddy, because I was just about to read those. The winner was Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh, a movie we all remember and love.
From your favorite director, Rob Marshall.
Oh, I love him.
The other nominees were Batman Begins, Brokeback Mountain, Good Night and Good Luck, and The New World. So that's one of those where
one is cool.
When the winner is the fifth best in the lineup, and of course it won. But yeah, Batman Begins, its solo nomination was in cinematography.
It's a great looking movie.
It's
not the category I would have guessed for it.
Not even in like sound. Just nuts.
Sound used to be like 2 categories at that point still, right?
Sound was sound mixing.
Yeah.
Was King Kong was the winner. You had Narnia, Memoirs of a Geisha, Walk the Line, and War of the Worlds. Sound editing, yeah, King Kong was the winner there. With the other nominees being Memoirs of a Geisha and War of the Worlds. Memoirs of a Geisha nominated for a ton of technical awards.
Oh yeah.
Nothing above the line. what they say about Memoirs of a Geisha. It is the Blade Runner 2049 of 2005, 2006. They say
Everyone
that.
says that.
Everybody says that. That's what I hear all the time. How did it not get in for like? Yeah, I mean, costume design. The winner was Memoirs of a Geisha. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Mrs. Henderson Presents, a movie we all talk about. Pride and Prejudice, and Walk the Line. That's
Mrs.
Joe Wright's
Henderson
Pride.
Presents is not a movie.
Visual effects was King Kong, Narnia, and War of the Worlds.
The thing about Nolan's movies are, one, they are very practical, and whatever CGI he does have is pretty seamless, which makes it hard to nominate it for special effects, as counterintuitive as that may be.
Score, Brokeback Mountain won. The Constant Gardener, Memoirs of a Geisha. That was John Williams who did that score. Munich, and Pride and Prejudice.
Pretty strong lineup.
So no way. This year has one of my favorite wins of all time. It has It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp.
There we go.
That wins Best Original Song.
Shout out Memphis, Tennessee.
It has one of the great jokes that ever at the Oscars that Jon Stewart said, which is 3-6 Mafia 1, Martin Scorsese 0 when it comes to Oscars.
It's very funny.
It's very good.
I would give it adapted screenplay.
Okay. Adapted screenplay nominees were Brokeback Mountain, Capote, The Constant Gardener, A History of Violence, and Munich.
It's a pretty good lineup.
It's a pretty good lineup. Maybe take out Constant Gardener.
Yeah. He was constantly gardening, though.
Would you throw
cannot
in
deny.
Michael Caine?
I mean, depending on who was nominated, and we don't have to keep going through every single freaking category, but
I'm going to just name.
He's very good. Okay.
Well, speaking of Batmans, this is the year that George Clooney won for Suriana. Matt Dillon in Crash, Paul Giamatti, Cinderella Man, Jake Gyllenhaal, Brokeback Mountain, William Hurt, A History of Violence. You'd probably take Matt Dillon out.
Yeah.
That's an epic performance.
Gooch, your thoughts on Crash?
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
a lot more generous.
That's a lot more generous than usually people give it.
That's magnanimous.
Yeah. I mean, it's like an egregious win, but like I don't think it's also the worst movie ever.
Usually,
the worst thing that happened to that movie was it winning Best Picture.
Yeah.
Over Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. I mean, anything winning over Brokeback Mountain was probably gonna. It's the same thing with like Coda.
I mean, I do remember
Green Book
learning a lot from Crash.
What did you learn, Jay?
We don't have time to get into it.
No, okay. Well, off pod, maybe.
Yeah, that'll be an off pod conversation. What I learned while watching Crash.
What you learn when you're watching Crash.
Things not to do in a car.
This is just a really good goddamn movie. Maybe we should. Katie Holmes and supporting actress. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a good.
See Nolan in director for this, even if I don't give it picture. I could see Nolan directs the hell out of this movie, except for the action stuff.
I mean, Ang Lee, Bennett Miller for Capote, Paul Haggis for Crash. There's your Nolan spot.
I mean, the thing is, you got all these crashes in here. You just
put them in some Batman Begins.
Yeah.
But then there's also the New World this year.
I know that if you go your actual 5 for the year, I don't think it makes my 5, but
he might make my 5. He might. There's something like Spielberg with Munich and War of the Worlds in both years.
Editing, again, except for the action sequences, which are edited like that.
Editing is a good call.
Famous scene in
this movie's 2.5 hours long,
2 or 3 or whatever. Yeah,
and it moves.
Does not feel it. Yeah,
exactly.
That's why I got the half-star bump. I was like, this is just so rewatchable, and it moves. Just don't get movies that move like this anymore.
Wasn't expecting my wife to be into this. She was pretty locked in.
Yeah. My wife was like, I don't know if I want to watch it, and then I turned it on, glued. Yep. It's one of those where you're like, oh, I'm done for the night. Might as well just watch this bad boy. Gooch, thank you so much for being here. This was
absolutely. Thanks for
great conversation to have with you about Batman Begins. We're gonna have to get you back on the pod again. Gooch, can you tell everybody where they can find you and all your work on the internet, as well as
Oh yeah.
also give our listeners a recommendation of the week. It can be something new, something old that you're vibing with, just something that they should check out in between, all the insanity of life.
You can find me Bob Goochman on Twitter, and then you just search that anywhere else. Bob Goochman Twitter, Bob Goochman Letterbox, pretty much across social, and also on Project Big Screen, also across social. You can hear me there. In terms of recommendation, I got a 5-star. We were talking about 5-star movies before we started. I give them out liberally, but I did give out. I can't pull it down right now. A 5-star last week to a movie called The Leopard. I don't know if you have seen that.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it.
what a
Fucking
great film.
fantastic. Fantastic. It's 3 hours long, but like a sweeping epic movie. Like if you love The Godfather, if you love There Will Be Blood, like those sweeping kind of like class, like big movies. I mean, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous film. I was blown away by it and almost want to rewatch it again like this weekend. And like I said, 3 hours long. I'm already wanting to dive back in.
I
So
love that. That's one I own but haven't seen.
yeah.
The
I've owned it
Leopard,
for like
Dilemma.
3 months now, and I finally like was like, all right, today's the day.
one of Scorsese's favorites, that's in the Criterion collection. You should check it out. It's great. Jay, do you have it?
I own it, but I haven't seen it.
You should pull it off the shelf. It's a great
I might,
film.
might just do that this weekend.
There you go. Jay, same drill, buddy. Where can we find you? Recommendation of the week.
Yeah, Letterbox, J Ledbetter, Twitter at Mr. J Ledbetter. Any writing I'm doing, including a review of Michael that the internet treated very kindly, on awardswatch.com. And my movie recommendation of the week,
Is Michael.
it's really cool that you brought up, I mean, There Will Be Blood, The Leopard, that I think this movie has a lot of similarities to those films, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from
Hell yeah.
1990, which I watched. I bought the 4K box set of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The Arrow one?
It looks unbelievable. Yeah, they did a
Oh,
great job.
dude, that
I mean,
set looks so sick.
I was so impressed with it, and it came with a bunch of stickers. Who doesn't love stickers? But the movie itself, I will say, obviously, silly movie. I think there is a lot to stick up for with that movie. The puppetry, obviously, like top notch, truly one of the classic. We don't get stuff like this anymore. I think it's very impressive, and I think it has a moodiness that is maybe a little bit underrated. When it is trying to be a little noirish, really kind of capture this dark New York energy, I think it does it very effectively. So I'm not going to sit here and say that we're dealing with The Leopard, but I am going to say it deserves a little bit of credit. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, very fun, very nostalgic, and maybe just like consider the craft just a little bit because I think there's some stuff there.
It's a
Hey, man.
great shout.
Well, that is a great shot, and it is really great packaging. I was able to get this a couple months ago, and we were
What
able
you do
to
with those stickers?
give them to the wife. She's a big fan. It was really a box set for her. I really, it was the gift that keeps on giving. Sometimes, you get to write the physical media columns. They send the stuff out. I didn't even get to really open that box. That was straight up just like hers. But fun movies nonetheless. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky at Ryan McQuade 77. You can find all my work at awardswatch.com. If you like podcasts, we have the main show that's released on Mondays, iTunes, Spotify, 5-star reviews. We greatly appreciate it. Or you're on the website, sign up for the newsletters. The best place to get all of our news, reviews, interviews, podcasts sent to you all in one place. Recommendation of the week is a new film that's coming out this year. By the time of release of this episode, should be in theaters or about to be in theaters. And I was able to catch this film at South by Southwest, and I thought it was really good. It's Damian McCarthy's Hokum, starring Adam Scott. And it's very simple. It's like a haunted Airbnb, or not Airbnb, like haunted bed and breakfast in Ireland. And you're not supposed to go to the haunted honeymoon suite or whatever.
Don't do it.
It's genuinely some of the better scares. McCarthy did a film called Oddity that came out last year, the year before, and was a kind of an interesting film. This one, really great stuff for Scott. Generally, the third act, a lot of great scares. I was fully at the edge of my seat with this thing. Hour 40, won't have a bad time with it. Just a very effective, moody horror flick. So from Neon, should be in theaters. Going to be good counter programming too when everybody's seeing The Devil Wears Prada. You know, it's just like go to see the horror film. You know,
The Deuce.
So yeah, you getting excited? Is the countdown getting on for it, Jay? Getting
Dude,
ready
we
for it?
have childcare set up to go to the Devil Wears Prada 2 press screening.
gonna be-
It is an event.
It's going to be big. I don't have
My wife wants the like handbag popcorn bucket.
Jesus Christ. So you're like fully bought in.
I'm not sure if they'll be available at a press screening, but if they are, we will be getting one.
Yeah.
I am not bought in. I think it is probably not going to be very good. I hope I'm wrong, but I haven't been super encouraged by the trailers. Is it about AI?
No,
What?
I don't
Okay,
think so.
I heard somebody say it was about AI.
Oh, wonderful.
And I was like, how is that possible?
Well,
So
in media, it's a big stopping point, I guess. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm optimistic about it. It's, same team as from the first film, literally behind the camera, in front of the camera. Good new additions to the cast. Don't think it like ages well in terms of the way it looks because it looks like an iPhone filter, but
but so does
but
Mandalorian and Grogu.
correct, which will make $500 million
No, the
worldwide.
movie is
Like I
going
keep
to
saying, Gooch.
Flop.
I don't know.
Gooch-
I'm reserved on the Mando box office. I don't know.
You don't think it's going to make 500? That's the bet here between me and Jay.
I mean, honestly, is the number 500?
We said
is
half
that
a
the
billion
tipping point?
dollars was the over.
I
And
don't. I
you
don't
took
think
the
it's
under.
gonna. I don't think it's gonna make that.
Whatever the projections are right now, I would take the under. Is what I should say, because
I think it's going to have
it's the TV show feel of it. It's like I think so many people are just gonna be like, "I'll wait."
That's where Marvel started screwing up.
Yeah,
Yep.
but Marvel oversaturates it with 900 films and 900 television shows. There's just like literally one film.
There's 900 television shows.
And there's not a lot of films for kids to see this summer. So I just think a bunch of people are going to take
But
the
it's
kids.
not a Mandalorian is violent.
But baby Yoda, kids love Baby
Grogu,
Yoda,
yes,
buddy.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you, it's going to make it'll make half a bill. I'm staying on this bet. Listen. We have nothing invested in this bet other than pride, and I need the boost. All right, so I'm just going to make it happen. If not,
You'll
I'm
go
going to
see it
start.
a million times.
You know what?
Just,
If those people what was it, The Sound of Freedom, they just bought out theaters, I might just start buying out Mandalorian and Grogu tickets.
Let's make a
There you
bet.
go.
If I win, we cover Inception. If you win, we cover Tenet at some point.
Oh, Jay, I think we're going to be doing that anyway in the next coming weeks. But okay, sure, I'll take that
Well,
bet.
at least we'll have them both just in case.
Fair. All right. That's going to do it for this week's show. We'll be back next week to talk about The Prestige. Right?
Ooh.
Yes. Looking
Indeed.
excited for that one for sure. Thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you all next time.